This is kind of embarrassing. I'm not even gonna lie. These were the 2022-23 predictions I made before the season even started. We're gonna start from the bottom. We're gonna check out the ones that I predicted on the left. And then the ones on the right is what actually happened. Bournemouth, number 20th. I thought they were poor. I looked at the team top to bottom. I just thought this is a poor team. They're gonna go straight up and straight down. But I do have to rate them. They invested well. Good enough to get out of relegation. 15th for Bournemouth was spectacular. They were made a video on TikTok, basically putting everybody that was, doubting them, saying they were going to go last. And many people had them last or 19th or 18th. That was like the most popular position to put them. And they proved everyone wrong. Fair play. So Bournemouth. 20th was kind of an L. I'll take the L on that. Leeds, straight up, spot on. You got rid of Rafinha and Calvin Phillips. Failed to properly replace him. You brought in a couple players that have a bit of talent. Some of the top six are linked to them, like Gornto. Okay, I'm really mispronouncing his name, but he's the player from Leeds that I see getting linked quite a bit. The whole March thing I predicted from the beginning in the video. I'm gonna leave a link, by the way, because I made a video. There's video evidence of all these predictions where I said you just can't play teams with poor quality. You want to go toe to toe with them. You got to kind of play physical, kind of the way Sam Dyche did it, or Sean Dyche, my bad. He kind of, parked the bus, counterattack and all that, and it works, and it got Everton out of the relegation zone, and, they survive, and that football works for teams like Leeds, and you had Jesse March come in there and absolutely just try to play toe to toe, and yeah, maybe worked a little bit, but no, you end up getting sacked, lad, and he ends up gone. It ended up being, all the Americans were going for Leeds, and now you're relegated, mate. You got Weston McKennie relegated. You got Tyler Adams relegated. Robinson relegated. Tim Ream, whole bunch of guys. They're gone now to the second division. But then I had Everton. One spot away. I was almost spot on. I just thought that team was really poor. They lost Richarlison, who was a guy who was scoring goals for them. Calvert-Lewin just, man, talk about a fall off. This man was linked to Arsenal. Big move signing it was going to look like. And now I don't even hear from him, mate. I don't even hear from him. Absolutely fall off. But what I did like about Everton was there was a couple players like Onana, that were quite decent. And, it didn't help that they end up, selling Anthony Gordon, who would kind of steal them points. But, they end up surviving, so they don't really care. But I just thought Everton was just not going to make it. I just thought Frank Lampard was a poor manager, and I thought if he stayed the whole way, they'd get relegated, and Everton thought so too. So they bring in a lad who would absolutely save them in Sean Dyche. And, he did a proper job, and he's got him out. 17th, I had Fulham. My whole thing was Mitrovic. He can score multiple goals, and I thought he could score double-digit goals, and I think when you got a guy who's capable of scoring double-digit goals, you have a really good chance of getting saved. And, Fulham end up getting 10th, kind of an L, but at least I said they're going to get saved. Fulham, they spent over 100 million. It helps when you bring in a champion, or not I'm sorry. Why did I even say that? But you bring in Paulinho. He's been a player who's been a bit nice for you guys. William came back from Brazil and ended up playing absolutely wonderful. This man was making the Stamford Bridge his dance floor. He was playing at Arsenal, and he was the biggest flop ever. Got the bag, went back to Brazil, and it looked like he got in a de-aging chamber, and then he came back to Fulham and played world class. Or not world class, but he was class. It was back to old William. I don't know what happened in between Arsenal to Fulham, but this man just changed it all up. I did not recognize William when I was watching him. My mouth dropped when he was out here outclassing Chelsea, and I do understand Chelsea finished under Fulham, but Chelsea have spent 600 million. Fulham brought in William, who was absolutely terrible for Arsenal. This man was so bad. I thought his secret twin brother was playing, who's never played football before. He scored a free kick. Oh wow, against the relegation side. Nice, William. But aside from that, he was banter. He literally, ironically, first game, hat trick of assist against Fulham. Vanished like the Avatar. But anyways, Southampton 16th. L. I'll take the L. Dead last. You know, they always have like a young core, and they do have a young core this time, fair play. But they're not really at their peak, or at least like close to their peak. You know how Southampton were used to like, yo, when they had Van Dijk, Sadio Mane, etc. Now, the only thing is, hopefully, which I hope he does leave, is James Ward-Prowse. I do want him to stay in the Premier League. He's not championship level. He's Premier League level. And it would be a shame to see him go down and then, you know, waste his career down in the championship. And if he does stay for next season with Southampton, he's obviously going to try to stay a Southampton legend. But I just think this lad can make a move. And ironically, I mean, the two places I could really see that would be big for his career, or I mean, I could see West Ham, Tottenham, or Liverpool be a spot where he could go and, you know, succeed, maybe even Crystal Palace. But a lot of these clubs, man, I would look into James Ward-Prowse. I doubt he's that expensive. I do understand he's English, but Southampton just went down, and I do believe he has earned the respect of Southampton to let him choose the club he wants to go to. 15th Brentford, yeah, I'm gonna take the L on that. 6 position difference. Man, Thomas Frank is. I thought Brentford was poor before the season. When I checked the squad, top to bottom, I thought Ivan Toney and everyone else is trash. And Ivan Toney, you know, he was having the gambling issues. You know, it was like coming out, oh, he might have a suspension on all this, and I didn't know he was gonna end up having it. You know, basically after the whole season is over, he gets the 8th month suspension. But yeah, I thought that was gonna be a real big downer. I was really tempted on relegating them, but I was like, we don't know when he'll get the suspension, and rightfully so. I predicted them to get saved. I did not predict them to finish in the top half of the table. I thought that was quite impossible considering the squad he had. But man, Thomas Frank is a really good manager, and I'm really suspecting that the days are getting thinner and thinner before a big club, maybe in Germany because he's German, or maybe in the Premier League, they're eventually going to call his name because he's doing a fabulous job with a very poor team. And if we'll see what he does without Ivan Toney, hopefully they bring him a number 9. I would look into number 9s because you're going to have Ivan Toney gone. You could possibly even sell him for big bucks because a lot of big teams are going to look for Ivan Toney. He scored quite a few goals for the team he's on, you know what I'm saying? He's finishing in the top 5 of the goal scorers, you know? That's pretty good, and that's going to call in some big-time teams. But we'll see what happens with Thomas Frank. 14th, Nottingham Forest. I always thought they were going to survive, and, you know, they end up surviving. It helps they bring in Keylor Navas, the Champions League winner. They did well with their signings. They signed a bit of players, but Jesse Lingard was an absolute flop. This man is making around $200,000 a week, and he's got no goals in the Prem. None. Like, this guy literally dropped a donut for $200K a week. My man stole the bag, you know, the Jesse Lingard celebrations. And he's just done that in the Cups a couple of times, and that's it. $200,000 a week. I would get rid of him. And I thought he was gonna be a good signing since when he went to West Ham, his little stint there, he was scoring a bunch of goals, and I was like, wow, you know, Nottingham got this lad, and I believe they're gonna, you know, fight to get closer to 10th place. But man, I was wrong about that. But I do get them fairly close to where they finished, so I'm gonna pat myself on the back there. That is about 3 dubs I'm gonna give myself there with Nottingham, Everton, and Leeds. I know Everton, you know, had them relegated, but it's like 1 position difference. Then we've got Brighton. Man, was I wrong about Brighton? De Zerbi. Round of applause for you, mate. You've got European football. If someone would have told me Brighton is going to have any European football, I would have laughed at you. Because they had just let go of Bizomu. Cucurella, who in that video I treated as if he was Roberto Carlos. You know, they had let go big players, big time players, but these guys just go to the depths of Earth. You know, they go to Mars and they get a Martian and they'll bring him down here, dress him up as a human, and they'll make him class, and they'll have a big 6 calling his name, man. They've got Enciso, Evan Ferguson, you know, Matoma, you've got Estupinian, you've got Caicedo, McAllister. The list goes on and on players that have just overperformed this season. And, you know, they lost players, they got big money for those players, and they replaced them with cheaper players that end up playing at the same level or even better. And it's absolutely insane what Brighton have done, and it's great for the city. I do understand, you know, The second Maupay left, I was like, I'll rate Brighton because Maupay was kind of a you know what. But Brighton to watch this season was fantastic. Even though they danced, in the Emirates, they made us look like fools and all. Um, I gotta give them a round of applause. They got Europa League football, and it'll be interesting to see how Brighton get on and who they're gonna let go. I think Caicedo's gone, McAllister's for sure. Those two gone. But the players that are gonna come in, I wonder who those are because they have Europa League football. That's some sort of attraction. I understand there's not much in Brighton, but Europa League football coming to Brighton, mate. Those fans must be ecstatic. If you would have told them 5 years ago, you're in European football, you're in Europa League, you're dancing in the Emirates, like they would have said no chance, mate. But man, those fans deserve it. I'll say that. Some loyal fans that I've been seeing online. 12 Wolves. I was really taking a piss on the people I was saying Wolves are gonna relegate. Ruben Diaz got his yearly "I'm gonna leave to Barcelona" chance, and I was like, I'm not having it. It's not happening, and it didn't happen. And guess what? Wolves end up mid-table around where I predicted them. That's one off. That's a W right there. Fourth W of the day. Wolves, one position off. I was like, this is still a solid squad, and they end up, bringing in a decent manager, and he ends up kind of helping Wolves. They get in a good run of games. They were a bit of a dangerous team at one point, but they do have to figure some things out, like their striking option. I believe that's kind of one of those positions that I'm just like, you've got options, but they're all flops. I think just bring in another lad. You can't have Diego Costa, Raul Jimenez, and it's just bad options. I think you can bring in a decent option. Maybe Ivan Toney, man. I would rather have Ivan Toney than any of those two guys, but it worked out. You got 12th place. I think that's decent. Wolves, typically have been finishing around this part of the table, but they'll take 13th. You know what I'm saying? 13th is fine for them. The next one is Crystal Palace. That's an absolute five dub, back to back dubs, man. You can't ask for anything more right there. 11th place, as if I watch every single Crystal Palace game. Nah, but on a serious note, some players have came out of their shell that have popped off. Olise is one. Zaha, we'll see what happens with him. I don't even know where he's going. I hear Arsenal. I don't believe the Arsenal. He's not an Arsenal player. We just got rid of Aubameyang, and we're gonna bring in another Aubameyang. No way. It's either Saudi Arabia or Crystal Palace, mate. It's either or. Um, yeah, I just thought this team had a bit of quality. They were gonna obviously miss Conor Gallagher, and I didn't believe that Lokonga was gonna be better than Conor Gallagher, and I was right. But he got good, decent playing time. I don't think he's gonna come back to Arsenal and be like some sort of homecoming. No, I think he's gonna end up getting sold or loaned out to Burnley because I know Vincent Kompany is a big fan of his, and eventually he'll find his way back with the Belgium manager. But Crystal Palace, I got a spot on, spot on. But Patrick Vieira getting sacked is an absolute disgrace. I'm sorry to tell you, this man was overachieving with this squad. Yes, they went on a very bad run of games, but mate, you were like mid-table. You were literally mid-table. It made no sense, in my opinion. Other people have different opinions. Maybe it's the Arsenal fan in me that's saying Patrick Vieira shouldn't have got sacked. But I thought he did a decent job, and they got 11th place. Maybe if he was doing a horrible job, these lads would be you know, lower than Chelsea. He still managed to have Crystal Palace over Chelsea. That's got to be some sort of success. 10th, Aston Villa. I'm not going to give myself the dub there, but I'm not giving myself the L there. They do get European football. I did think they're going to do a little decent. Obviously, Villa Conference League football is a big deal, I guess, for that kind of club. You know, how the mighty have fallen, went from Champions League wins, and now you're celebrating Conference League. But Unai Emery, round of applause to you. He went on a crazy winning streak. Aston Villa was win, 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 win. And it had me very, like, when we were top of the league, Arsenal, I was kind of like, damn, that win at Villa with Unai Emery. Look, they're on a 5-6 game winning streak, and we got that last minutes. That was beautiful. And it was at the time, but now it's meaningless because we got second place. Without the 3 points, still second place. But Villa, different animal with Unai Emery. And Unai Emery is one of those managers that I do rate because he goes in there, works with what he got, and he gets results. And he was out there, gets a draw against Liverpool. That's a good result against Liverpool. And Unai Emery, I really want to see what he does next season with European football, Premier League, Cups, and all that. With Villa, I know he did bits with Villarreal, but Premier League is different to La Liga. I would rather be playing against. To be fair, there's some poor sides coming into Premier League. We don't know how much they're gonna spend yet. That's gonna be big. Um, but yeah, I would rather be playing against Ibar week in week out and like Osasuna than playing against Brentford and Nottingham Forest. I'm sorry, that's me. That's me saying the Premier League's better than La Liga, like top to bottom. I know people love to compare just the top side of the table or the top six, but man, we're comparing leagues. It's 1 through 20th. Anyways, it's ninth West Ham L. Look at that. They're down here. They're down here. 14th. I thought they were obviously going to regress from them challenging in the top six. But they end up getting 14th. But the reason why David Moyes has not been sacked, though, is because Conference League final. That's going to happen. Declan Rice bid is going to come in from Arsenal. So the second that final's done, Declan Rice is probably going to kiss the badge goodbye because he has Bayern Munich, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal all phoning him. You don't think this man is saying, even if they get Europa League with West Ham, you think this man is thinking, yeah, I'll stay one more year? Nah, he's gone. He is gone, and he has 1 year left. It makes sense for everyone that he leaves. And, West Ham could easily bring in a lad that can, replace him. Maybe not as productive, but, you're going to get about close to 100 million or 100 million for him. So I don't see why not sell him. And he has a year left. A year left. You're going to scam someone if you can get 95 million. I'm saying this as an Arsenal fan who likely will be getting scammed for 90 million. And I'm hearing Bayern Munich is coming from. No, Bayern Munich is not going to spend 100 million for Declan Rice. No chance. There's literally no chance. I think there's more of a likelihood that Ronaldo goes to Bayern than Declan Rice going to Bayern for that big. Bayern, they never spend big. That's all I'm saying. But West Ham, if David Moyes loses that final, he's gone. He's gone. Poor season from West Ham. They've had bright spots, but I guess the Conference League is all they got right now. 8th place, Newcastle. I knew Newcastle was going to improve. I really did. And I didn't think they're going to be. I thought this is what they were going to do next year. Eddie Howe, man. Take a bow. I'm going to take an L on that one. Eddie Howe, man, you just did absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Bruno Guimaraes is one of those players that I'm like, I would have spent 50 million instead of that 45 million pathetic, offer that we gave them get declined and Newcastle get him. We should have just put 55. This man, imagine him in the Arsenal midfield. He's getting to world class. At the moment he's class, but whatever I see in the Champions League next year from him, he's going to wow. He's a player that's impressed me. I don't know why he's not starting for Brazil. And Almiron obviously he's been performing well, but Newcastle's gonna be dangerous next year. Champions League football, you've got that whole ammunition that you're just holding because of financial fair play. The second you can release it, man, it's gonna be another city in there. It's gonna be like that second place trophy. It's gonna be a third place trophy soon if these other clubs don't get it together. Leicester City. That's embarrassing. 7th place, they relegated. Oh god, that's bad. Second worst. That tells you, man. Second worst L here. I think you could see who the worst L is, but we'll get into that in a second. I just thought, wow, recency bias. It didn't help. They had that center back, that to B Tech David Luiz out here scoring braces against his own team, and then against Liverpool. Right, this man just played for Liverpool. He must be a Liverpool fan. I'm telling you, scores a brace, Liverpool win. I'm literally watching that astonished. Like, wow, I've never seen a lad score 2 goals, like 2 banger own goals in one match, and then against Liverpool at home. Okay, Anfield got to him. Then you play him at home, and you absolutely just let the lad score. Boom. Liverpool have done the double on you because you beat Tech David. It was Arsenal David Luiz. They just put him on Leicester and see how much damage he can do. And my man put him into 18th. 18th. I think at one point I would look at this club, or I would look at that center back, and I would have been like, mate, we're just going to cut. We're going to give you all the money up front. You're doing more damage than helping us. I'd rather bring in a U18 center back than you, my man. And For some reason, nobody did that. That man was so bad, so bad. He he had to like love Liverpool as a child or something because he turned up for them. And I think Jurgen Klopp, some it was horrible. I'm not gonna lie, and that just shows the clowns that Leicester had. You know, they did have a couple quality players, and Yuri Tillemans, James Madison. You know, Jamie Vardy is always having a party, but now that party's in the Championship. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what Tillemans goes. Madison, a lot of teams are gonna call in for him. I think Newcastle's the best place for him, or Liverpool. Tillemans probably Arsenal, Spurs, Liverpool. But that's a big L. Embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie to you. But then we got United. United at 6. To be fair, before you guys are like, how'd you have United 6? They literally had Casemiro, 300 million to spend. How? Pause. Before a ball was kicked, this was done. Before a ball was kicked. And that's in the middle of the transfer window. Couple weeks go by. Casemiro, Anthony come in, and that changed the whole thing for me. And I do predict in that video that Ronaldo was gone by January because, man, they were bumping heads already. A ball hadn't been kicked, and I already heard, man, Ronaldo didn't show up the preseason, blah, blah. Oh, they're putting Ronaldo against Ten Hag, and it happened, and boom, I predicted it. Him going to Saudi Arabia, did not predict that. I thought he was going to go to Bayern or Chelsea, and I did take the L on that take. But him leaving United by January, philosopher, baby. What can I say? Obviously, if I would have known they got Casemiro and Anthony, I would have put them in the top 4. But I had no idea that was going to happen. And dude, Casemiro came out of nowhere. Anthony, yeah, that was being linked. But Casemiro, I would have had him in the top 4, top 3. But it's easier to say after. But I'm gonna take the L on that one, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Spurs, wow. Banter club. You know, this team, the glory days are over for these guys. 8th place. You know, enjoy it. You remember that girl that was saying, oh man, Arsenal, you know, look at Fulham, look at Brighton. Those are the men that you're over there competing with. Ironic, mate. Look at that. 6 Brighton, Fulham right there. You're 8th. Ironic. Spoke it into existence, you know, wearing that Tottenham kit. Look at that. You're looking up, oh, Brighton, please drop points. Fulham, oh, don't catch up to us. That's literally your reality. Look at us. Look at Arsenal, the big boys. Oh, City, drop points, please. Oh, United. Oh, Newcastle, Liverpool. You know, what? I can't see you from all the way down there, Tottenham. What are you doing down there? What happened? I thought you were Big 6. You're 8th. Banter club. Yeah, I'm going to take the L on that one. I didn't think they were that bad. If you told me Harry Kane scores 30 goals and they miss out on any European football, I would have been like, yeah, you're mad. But he did, in fact, do that. 30 goals, and it goes unnoticed because obviously Erling Haaland, 36 goals, is going to overshine that, and they win the league and everything. You know, they're 2 wins away from a treble, which is going to piss off this fan base right here. You know, it's going to have them from taking a piss on Arsenal to being like, damn, treble, City, sheesh. Yeah, Tottenham, banter. Chelsea, wow. That's another L. That's top 3. I'm going to give that third place on the L list. Yeah. Chelsea, they spent a lot of money. I was like, yeah, they spent a lot. You know, they're showing ambition. It seems like the Todd Bowley coming in wasn't going to make a difference. Or Roman Abramovich. I thought, you know, Tuchel was going to do well. I thought they were missing a number 9. Ironically, what I'm always thinking about Chelsea is they loaned out Lukaku, who's in the Champions League final. Tammy Abraham, he's in the Europa League final. And both of them would, you know, I think Chelsea, if had one of those two, they would be around here. But they, you know, for some reason, they thought Raheem Sterling, Kai Havertz, Joao Felix were a better and more suited to play number 9. Frank Lampard, Thomas Tuchel, all of you took a piss. We'll see what Pochettino does. We'll see what he does. It'll be interesting. But Chelsea was absolutely banter. Bringing in Frank Lampard was like throwing the flag. It was like forfeiting. If I was a Chelsea fan that lived right next to Stamford Bridge and I saw Frank Lampard was appointed, I'm ripping up the season ticket. I'm ripping up whatever ticket I bought for the future. I'm not showing up because they threw the flag the second they made that appointment. They didn't care. They did not care. 3rd place Arsenal. That's a W. That's a W right there. This is the one I'm most proud of. exceeded expectations. Exceeded expectations. Boom. They got second place. Round of applause, Mikel Arteta and the whole club. I'm proud of them. I know people are gonna say bottle jobs. Yeah, they bottled the league. I'll admit it. They did, in a perspective of they bottled the league. Yeah, they were first above City, substantially, but man, you're making a toddler race against a Ferrari, and you gave the toddler a head start. Or let's not go toddler. You gave a Honda Civic against a Ferrari. You said the Honda Civic, you go 50 yards, Ferrari go 75 yards, and we'll see who wins the race. You'd think, oh yeah, if you don't know nothing about cars, zero. You'd be like, oh yeah, man, obviously the one with less distance to cover. But once you check the engine, what's in the team, then you're gonna be like, damn, never mind, go with the Ferrari. And that's exactly what happened. Civic's not bad. It's a decent car. You can obviously upgrade it, whatever. But Ferrari, man, it's literally a multi-million-dollar car. Like, come on. Obviously, one's gonna win no matter the distance. So that's literally what happened. Arsenal, it's a great step forward. Finally got Champions League. It's not a failure of a season. I got people online saying, "Oh yeah, man, 5 out of 10 season." Taking a piss. I wonder what you've been ranking the season the past 4 years. Can we get those clips out? I want to see what he ranked the season last year, 1 through 5. I'm pretty sure that guy said like a 7. And then you go to second, 5. I had no idea what to say. And I know if you're an Arsenal fan or you're an Arsenal hater and you watch that channel that I do watch and I do rate, I like the channel. But that guy right there, this guy, 5 out of 10 season, mate. We haven't had Champions League in 7 years, and you want me to give it an F, an F. No, I'm excited, and I get to wear the jersey next year with the patch. Odegaard. I ordered that. Can't wait for that to arrive. But second, City, that's an L. Even though I'm almost there, that's an L. That's an L. Simple as that. I'm gonna be harsh on that one. City I should have put them to win the league. They got Haaland. The whole reason, first and second, I'll go into it, is I was really high on Darwin Nunez, and I was thinking he was gonna come in, boom, straight out the bat, just absolutely just start hammering goals. Even that the Community Shield had me hyped. I was like, yo, Darwin Nunez came in, he scored. I was like, he's gonna be better than I really wanted him to be better than Haaland too. I like Darwin Nunez more than I like Haaland, and I was over here like, he's better. Watch it, guys. Watch it. I was gonna say a take right there, but I'm gonna save it for after Champions League and FA Cup, because if City win the treble, L take, straight up L take. But if they choke it somehow, I'm gonna say the take, and I'll make a video specifically on this take. But City second, L, Liverpool L. That's probably the worst L right there. Liverpool winning the league, getting Europa League. Maybe if Liverpool got fourth, I'd be like, they still got Champions League, but no, they missed out on that too. I mean, midfield problems. I thought they had covered it up with a couple of band-aids good enough. I thought Thiago, Henderson, Fabinho, they would be decent, but at least they had Bajcetic, who was decent. A little bright spot. He's there for the future. After Fabinho, he could take over. He was decent. You got like some young players. You got Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz, but the midfield needs to improve, and you need to figure out what you want to do with Trent there, because right back he gets cooked quite easily. When he has the ball on his feet, he's great and all, but when he's defending, it becomes a liability. He has his moments, don't get me wrong, but not consistent. It's not consistent, you know what I'm saying? You got Man City with right back Kyle Walker, who's been pocketing, in the Champions League. He was pocket this. But, he's got full pockets right now. Trent, pockets are burned. Can't put anything in there. It falls straight through and it escapes him. Like, come on. Like, this man needs to improve his defending. If not, I'd give him a go at midfield or right wing or something, because on the ball, he's absolutely class. Has the attacking characteristics that I'm like, man, what is he doing at right back? He can whip in a cross, he can hit the ball 75 yards, which is impressive, but he is a defender. He should be able to defend first. City, you did great. What do you want me to say? You won the league. Didn't even get 90 points. Obviously, Arsenal didn't push you as much as Liverpool has in the past. It is what it is. But anyways, leave a like. subscribe, leave a comment down below on the predictions. I can't believe I even went back and I'm gonna put out these. Liverpool take his L, Chelsea take L, Tottenham give me an L, Leicester give me an L. Everyone else, not that. Oh, I guess Brighton, that was pretty bad, but everything else was Bournemouth. But everything else was fine. Everything else respectable. But I'm gonna literally wait for 2-3 days before the Premier League even starts, like that week of where I do 23-24 season. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.